Hold on a sec. Hold on. I gotta be able to hear you. Oh, you're muted. Just give me one sec. Let me get you to unmute.
Mm, There we
There
go.
you are. How's it going, Renita?
It's
Feeling
going
good
good.
today?
How are you? Yeah, I'm having an okay day so far. I just been a bit busy with some group work. I had a boxing class I wanted to go to today, but what ended up happening was our group just decided they kind of wanted to meet up and just kind of figure out a few things. And I was like, do we really need to do this right now? But they're like, yeah, because we have something due in a few days. So I was like, okay, all right, that's fine. So
Fair
that's
enough.
where I'm at today. But I'm gonna try to
So,
work out at home today, just to still
okay,
keep moving a little bit.
that's the way to do it. Okay, so let's get into it. First
Yeah,
things first. Um, Gotta ask you a couple of questions for our interview. Congratulations on completing your challenge.
thank you.
Um, Renita, how old are you?
I am 23.
Okay, and what is it that you do for work?
For work right now, I work at a vintage clothing store. I'm just a retail sales associate, and I'm going to school part-time at university.
What is it that you're studying?
Business management.
Okay, definitely works out. You plan on owning your own store one day?
Yeah, I hope to someday. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good. So you're definitely in the right field. Okay, so before you joined, what
Yeah.
was your fitness experience like before you joined our challenge?
Honestly speaking, my fitness experience wasn't quite extensive or anything like that. The last time I ever really remember working out properly, consistently was during high school, and not even more so because I wanted to. It was more so like, oh, you just kind of have to for gym class. And then I don't know, growing up also, like I didn't really have the healthiest relationship with food. I until like now, I would say like I have a better understanding of like carbs and fats and proteins. And for the longest time, I just my diet, I could just like look back on it in my head and I'm like, I don't know what I was eating back then, but it was not healthy, it was not nutritious, did not give me energy, did not fuel my body. And I remember just always feeling super tired, lethargic, not really having that energy to even work out, even if I wanted to. And I don't know, there's something in my head that was just saying, like, oh, you don't eat enough anyway, so what's the point of going to the gym? It's not like you have the energy for it. And I don't know, I just got stuck in that loop for a while.
Okay. What kind of diets did you try before in the past that you found didn't really work for you?
Honestly speaking, I don't really know if it would even be considered a diet or just not really eating so much throughout the day and just, nibbling on little things here and there. Like I'd have like bubble tea and like for the whole day and I'd be fine until like dinner. I don't know, stuff like that. I just wasn't eating per se. Like I'd have like sandwiches, but it was so random throughout the day that like I could have like something at like 1 p.m. The next time I'd eat maybe at like 7. So it was never really like a diet that I ever really followed. It was just like inconsistent eating and just opting for like processed food or whatever was convenient or fast food instead of actually like, cooking or finding ingredients that were healthy. It was just like on the go, whatever is available. Processed, that's fine. It's quick and easy. I'll have it. So it wasn't a diet, just whatever was available at the time.
Fair enough. Now, do you remember what your weight was before you started with us?
Before I started with you guys, I know like the day of that I did come in, it was like 107. I just
Okay.
remember always my weight just fluctuating around like 100 pounds. It was never ever 100, 105, maybe 110 max. Just I remember it always kind of just fluctuating like around 100, 110, like throughout
Hmm.
most of my life, I would say.
Okay. And do you know what your body fat was before you started?
I think when I came in, it was 30.9.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of your clothes, how did you find that they fit before you started?
Oh, I just noticed that like there's some things that are like baggier on me now versus like before they'd be a little more like snug or like, just form fitted. I just feel like now that like I've lost maybe a little bit, it just feels a little looser. Not like crazy or anything, but just like a little bit looser, I find it.
A little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
And in terms of your energy and strength, what was that like before you started?
I would say like I would say non-existent or not that I even know what my strength was back then because I never tested it. I never gave myself the opportunity to even find out. So I'll go with non-existent. But
Okay.
but now I feel like I'm a lot stronger for one. And I just noticed that like because I'm eating more consistently, I genuinely have more energy throughout the day, especially if I'm like having a lot of protein. Yeah, I just noticed I'm a lot more energetic.
That's amazing. Now, in terms of your previous fitness and health, like how did it make you feel emotionally?
Emotionally speaking, I would say it was always just depressing, because there was parts of me that was like when I would like envision myself or what I wanted to be or my goals, I guess you could say for my body, I'd always think like, oh wow, like it'd be nice to look like this or be stronger or this or that. And it's like I just never really knew how to get there. So it always just made me feel like inadequate of just like I'm able to control my body, but like I don't know how to. I don't feel like I don't even know where to start. So that was something that was super just unnerving. I would say it was just like I felt very inadequate, very like unknowledgeable, very depressing. So I would go with
Yeah.
those three. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So now that you've completed your challenge, how
Mhm.
much weight did you lose?
Um, I how much weight did I lose? I can't remember exactly. It was on the app. I don't remember.
No
I
worries.
want to
I actually
say
have it in front of me. You
if
lost
you do that, I
13.2
don't know.
pounds.
Oh, really?
13.2 pounds. This is a
Oh,
crazy amount. And do you remember your final body weight and or your body fat percentage and how much body fat you lost?
I think it was 23. So I'd assume maybe like 7, 8% maybe?
Yes,
Or
7.9%. So you
okay, I'm
absolutely
close.
smashed the target. The
Yeah.
target was 6%. You went way past that, so that's awesome. So you said your clothes are fitting a little bit comfortably now. It's starting to
Mhm.
hang on your body a little bit better. You said your energy levels are getting a lot better, feel a lot stronger.
They have. They truly, truly
Let's
have.
let's get into something that I think is really important. Now
Yeah.
that you've completed the challenge, your fitness and health, how are you
Mhm.
feeling emotionally now?
Emotionally now, I just feel like I'm so much healthier. I just feel like I'm more in control of my body and the things I eat and how I work out. And like I have an understanding now that I didn't before, and that just makes me feel a lot more relieved, more comfortable, more willing, I suppose, to like, go out there, work out because I didn't have the knowledge before or the understanding. And now that I do, I just feel like stronger, more confident. I would definitely say all those things have like come into play now that I definitely didn't have 6 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what is one thing that surprised you about the challenge?
One thing that surprised me about the challenge was when I first joined and, hearing the 6%, I didn't know if it was doable until like I
Okay.
actually started like, just following through, going to the workout, eating, following the meal plan, avoiding certain types of food that I would normally have. And I didn't realize, I won't say it was necessarily easy, but I'll say it was a lot easier than I initially thought it would be. And I guess that was something that I found very surprising. And just like how easily once I started just consistently going to them classes, it became like a regular thing for me. And I
Hmm.
realized like, oh, once you like kind of do something consistently, it becomes a habit. And I didn't realize like how easily habits can form over time if you're just consistent with it and just keep following through.
Good. And on the topic of our classes, what did you enjoy the most about the workouts?
For me, I definitely after joining, like I didn't know how much I loved like kickboxing and just like, getting to hit the bag and, throw hands. Like I didn't realize like, oh my God, it's so stress relieving and you release so much tension and you get a good workout in. So I definitely say kickboxing has definitely been like my number one. But also I've just genuinely really enjoyed like the fitness classes too because we do different movements like every week, every class type of thing. And I'm just
Hmm.
like, the more I even do those classes, I learn different movements and different, forms and techniques to work out that like hopefully when I do, go to the gym even on my own, it's like it becomes muscle memory where it's like I learned that to go apply it elsewhere as well.
Good. You're gonna build up your own little coaching voice in the back of your head. You're gonna be like, oh, what was it that what was that Coach Joy always says?
Yeah.
What was that Coach Chris says?
I was
Now,
like, what is that? What is that technique for the kettlebell? Like, wait, yeah, this, that, okay.
Yeah, you probably hear me in the back of your head saying, "Hands up, chin
Yeah,
down."
yep, hands up. Yep, I remember that. Keep your chin down.
That's right. Now, in terms of the nutrition plan, I know that before you said that you ate a lot of processed foods, you're just kind of
Yeah.
snacking. There wasn't really a lot of
Hmm.
technique behind that. What are
Yeah.
some things you learned from the nutrition plan?
Honestly speaking, one of my biggest issues, I would say, it's like when it came to like portions, I had no idea when it came to portion control, like just how much of what you should be eating and like, what's a good amount of this, a good amount of that, how too much is also a thing of a certain portion. Stuff like that. I had no that was not me. Me and portions did not exist. I didn't know that was a whole thing until I started following the meal plan. And honestly, following the meal plan kind of just made it easier for me as well. Cause it was like mentally, I was like, oh, you're getting your carbs in, you're getting some protein in. It's like I could visually see it as well on my plate. Like, oh, that's protein, that's carbs, and that's fats or whatever. And that just kind of gave me like clarity, I would say. Whereas before it was super unprocessed, could have just been one thing that I was eating and I had no idea what even that was. Like
Mm,
truly, like I didn't know, oh, there's a bit of protein in that or that's carbs. Like I had no idea what was what. So after just following the meal plan and just I tasted on my fridge, just so like when I do open my fridge, I'm like, oh, I remember I have to eat some carbs and this and that. And like the more I did it, the more I just became like it became normalized to me. Whereas like now in my head, when I think about food, I'm very much like thinking about the different types there are, like proteins, like carbs and fats. Whereas before, none of that.
mm.
So yeah, better
So if we
understand.
were talking to someone who is skeptical about joining, but they're not
Mhm.
sure, they're kind of on the fence, they're like, I don't know, I'm not really sure. What would you
Yes.
say to that person? What's one
I
one thing that you'd say to them?
I would say I understand the skepticism, I get it, but at the same time, if you are at a point in your life where like you even decided to even look into, working out and trying to become active, I think you already took, a great step in that sense. But with that being said, it's like you should kind of go to Fight Fitness in the sense that not only do you get to have like a meal plan, you do get to, work out. You have someone, the part for me that was I guess the most beneficial was like having someone like you that was holding me accountable to my stuff because I was like, there's no, it could have been like, oh, today I might, not eat this or eat that. But then you're like, oh, what are you having for breakfast? And I was like, oh, I should be having, my meal plan breakfast for sure. So I just say like, listen, like working out, exercising, eating healthy isn't easy. But when you have someone kind of holding your hand and not in an aggressive way where they're making you do this or making you do that, but just like gently being a voice in the background as a reminder, like, hey, you should do this or like think about this for a sec. That to me has been super helpful because I feel like I needed that especially. And I'm not sure if that person has that, same struggle of needing someone to kind of help them with that, but I would say that's a benefit you get from it too. And like you'll thank yourself in 6 weeks. Okay, you might, meet the challenge, you might not, but you're definitely gonna be happier and healthier by the time the 6 weeks are over, and you're gonna learn a lot more than you initially thought, going into it that you would receive. So
That's
do it, take the leap,
just do it. Go for it. Yes, I
go for
definitely
it.
agree with the accountability. I'm glad
Yeah.
that we were able to help you along your journey. So
Mhm.
that's it for our interview. I want to make sure that I remind you that now that you are at the end of your challenge, we're going to get you 2,000 reward points, which you can use towards
Oh.
semi-privates. In the future, when we start running our Fight Fit Academy, you can also use it to get
Mhm.
into that again. And if you don't mind, we would love to get a Google review from you, or if you want to post some reviews, that'd be
Yes, I
awesome.
posted
I'll send
mine.
you
I
the link
posted
for it.
it.
Oh, you already
Yeah.
done it. Perfect.
Yeah,
So
I've
that's
done.
that.
I posted them all. Yeah.
All right. Well, Juanita, thank you very much for chatting
No,
with me. I
thank
hope you
you,
have an
Chris,
awesome
for the
weekend.
past 6 weeks. Yes.
Yes. Bring out some friends. We'll hopefully we'll see them and we'll
Yeah,
convince them to come and work
for
out with us.
sure. Yeah, sounds
All
good.
right.
Thank you. You have a lovely rest of your day as well. Thank
Yeah.
you so
Thank
much.
you. Around. Okay.
I'll
Take care.
talk to you later. I'll see you in class. Bye.
Bye.